Boom! There we are. We're live. How we doing, everybody?
Right.
How are we doing? How you doing today, brother?
Ooh, what a long week.
What a long week. Welcome to After the Cook, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mel Schmiller, Dark Side of the Grill, and this is my man Chris.
Chris Sham at Titletown Griller. Thanks for having us. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, for a hot second, I thought that this was a special Thursday night edition of After the Cook, but apparently it's still only Tuesday.
Still only Tuesday. Oh, buddy. What a week. What a week. Yeah. Well, no, I'm always happy to see you on a Tuesday, brother. This is good.
You know,
this is good.
You get through tonight. It's like that little jolt, that little pick me up to help us power through the weekend.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Before you know it, it'll be Friday.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, what a weird time to be alive, let me tell you. So up in Alberta right now, we're pretty much open for business. I believe masks are still mandatory in stores, but like public gatherings, July 1st, everything's back to normal. So I'm quite curious to see how people are going to do this, but it looks like it's back on.
It's going to be weird. Like, I'll tell you, the first few times I went into a store without a mask, it was weird.
I don't know. It's like I got the double poke, right? So I'm happy. I'm not complaining, but
yeah, and for me, like, I'm used to wearing a mask. I wear a mask, in surgery all day anyways. So like I kept wearing it, and I'd go into stores and I'm realized that I'm the only one wearing a mask, and I'm like, I'm not wearing it for me. So I'm like, yeah, if everyone else is cool with it, I'm cool with it. So,
yep.
But it was still just it's a weird feeling.
Yeah.
Like, I went grocery shopping and I brought one of my kids with me.
Yep.
I've been doing that for a year and a half.
Yep. Yeah, it's yeah, there's going to be a lot of neat, weird things like movie theaters and stuff like that, right? I don't know. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. My biggest thing is like public swimming. I miss the pool so bad, man. I miss the pool so bad. So as soon as I can get out there with the kiddies, we're gone. Well, they do, yeah. I'm just not allowed to bring any meat with me. That's what they said last time. So as long as I don't bring any meat to the public pool, I'm okay. So
is that a sausage?
Yeah, just gonna set up this little hibachi here on the side, if that's all right with you, and then oh, good times.
That's fun. You got some nice public pools down there, or up there, I should say.
Oh, yeah, they're not bad. They're not bad at all. I'm in love with water slides. There's quite a few water slides.
Okay.
I like to hit the water slides up. Hot tubs, the big hot tubs, I really like those. But we have a wave pool not far away.
Oh,
we like doing the wave. Yeah, we like doing the wave pool. Wave pool's a good time. Kids love it, right? The little one just floats away in her little. So that's going to be a good time. But
yeah, we just had one open up in our city. We haven't been to it yet. It opened up like a week and a half ago, but it's got like two big water slides that they don't loop up and down, but they kind of intertwine with each other, and they don't end in the pool, which is kind of nice. So if like my wife goes with my kids, she can let the daughters go on it and not worry about them, drowning. And then there's a couple of other slides in the pool. I saw some pictures, looked pretty cool. There's like a rock climbing wall that comes up out of the water and goes backwards over the water. So if you fall,
you're just into the wall. Oh, wow, that's crazy.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Well, we got the West Edmonton Mall water park. That's the big crazy one. They got the skyscraper and all of that sort of stuff, but it's not nearly as cool as it used to be when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Now give me a lazy river and a floating cooler.
That was it. So they used to have that there with the tubes, right? And they would go, and then it did a toilet bowl thing, and then it would dip down to the next level.
Sure.
And it was like scary for a second, and then it was fine again, and that was awesome. So, yeah. Oh, I miss the pool. So we're pumped about that. We're pumped about, the big public get-togethers and the barbecues and stuff like that. Going to be a good time. Going to be a good time. We got Elvira all greased up and ready to go.
Yeah, I saw you got an event coming up, huh?
Yeah, there's more than one. Let's put it that way.
Nice.
More than one. Yeah, she's been popular. So happy about that. Happy about that.
So what day is Canada Day?
Canada Day is Thursday. So all of the parties are put off to the weekend now.
Why didn't they open up on Canada Day?
That's weird. I don't know.
That's what they should have done.
Yeah. Well, they did, July 1st.
Oh, July 1st?
July 1st is Canada Day. So that's
next Thursday.
Yes.
Next Thursday. I was thinking this Thursday.
Yeah, no, next Thursday. Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's going to be a blast. We're real pumped about that.
Do you get off on Canada Day?
We were, but we're trading it.
For the third?
Yeah, exactly. So we get the Friday off then instead of in the middle of the week. And we'll still hit up the fireworks and stuff like that. I'm not too worried about that. So
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know. You Americans are quite patriotic. We too are patriotic, but in a lot less of a, you guys go all out. I wish we went bigger sometimes, but yeah, it's a really fun time. I don't know what it's going to be like now, COVID times. I'm not quite sure, but it was always nice to see like a sea of red and white all downtown throughout the entire core of downtown, and then fireworks going off and everyone with their flags and stuff.
Yeah, and you shave the maple leaf into your chest hair.
That's right, yeah. And people throwing joints and stuff, and it was a really good time. I really like Canada Day.
Well,
yeah.
Let's hope that. I think it'll be apprehensive. Like it'll be, it'll start slow, but I think it'll end with a bang. I just picture people going out and going harder than they otherwise would.
Everybody I talk to that's been looking to book events or do whatever, they all seem to be gearing up for like ragers.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all kind of like pricing out double what they wanted to do, like crazy. So that's a really good sign. And that makes me happy because right out of the gate, people are like not looking to skimp on meat. They're not looking to skimp on, the show. They want the show. They want the good wood. They want the good meat, and they want lots of it, and like secure it before everything's booked and stuff. Like really good. Really good signs.
Just so y'all heard that everyone wants Mel's good wood and meat.
That's correct. Yes. Correct. So now I'm curious about Oktoberfest. I haven't heard a peep about it, but I've heard rumblings. I've heard rumblings of things. So
I haven't heard rumblings from
top brass.
From the right people.
Yes. Exactly. But you got to think like American Royals back on.
Yeah.
That's full swing there. So I don't know.
Yeah, part of me is like they should just move Oktoberfest up to September before there's a chance that shit hits the fan again and just get it in.
Well, it needs to happen.
Yeah.
Is the thing. It needs to happen. So fingers crossed, man. Knock on wood, do all of that shenanigans. We need to have an Oktoberfest.
Mm-hmm.
I miss your face. I can't wait. Yeah. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah. I mean, we all want it. So make it happen.
That and a rotisserie. But I didn't say that. Where's the rotisserie? We need a rotisserie, but whatever. Would be a nice attachment, wouldn't it?
It would be. I think it'd be a great thing to have on a Big Green Egg or Kamado style grill. I just wish someone thought of it.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
It would be nice. Yeah.
Well, speaking of Big Green Egg and Bge Teamgreen.
Yep.
We have a couple of our BGA team members that are going to be joining us tonight.
Really?
Yes, really.
They're here with us now?
I think they are.
Well, wouldn't that be? We should bring them in here.
You know what, Mel? I think we should bring him in.
Let's do that. Bing!
There's Travis and Mr.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Bing! There we go. How we doing, boys?
Good evening.
Doing good.
Good.
Cheers. Cheers. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Or Friday, if you want. It's up to you. Mm-hmm.
So we were talking about Oktoberfest. Have either of you two been doing Oktoberfest?
I've not. I was lined up to go cook at a local egg fest it would have been April of 2020. So clearly that one got the axe. But I was working on. I think I'd actually hit up Mel about my menu and seeing if it was a little over aggressive or not. And then obviously the plug got pulled on that one. But I do hope, like you guys were saying, they do something this year. Because I got added in March of 2020. So my first, whatever this has been, 16, 18 months has been probably not what you guys' first 16, 18 months was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm from Canada, so there hasn't been a ton of action up here anyway, but yeah, it's hitting that Oktoberfest was a huge thing.
Yeah.
It was an absolutely huge thing. Other than that, like, I wish I was in the States for all the little egg fests you guys do, like the Ohio Egg Fest, Florida Key, all of the Sunshine. There's so many different egg fests that I would love to see.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, being locked up here has just been crap. But I don't even think we're allowed to travel yet. I'm literally like booking flights and the border's still closed. I'm like, I don't care. I'm going anyway, so that's it. Yeah.
Hopefully soon. I mean, the fact that things are opening up July 1 for you bodes well for eventually the borders opening back up.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Barring anything catastrophic for you guys, it's hopefully just a matter of time.
Yeah. Oh, I hope so, man.
What about you, TJ? Have you ever cooked at an egg fest?
I've not cooked at one. I've been to a few of them when I was in Tennessee for college, but as far as cooking, I was supposed to do some one somewhat local they were going to plan last summer, and then all this happened. So it's supposed to be one at a local Ace Hardware where they were going to put it on. And they were doing all the planning. It was their first one in a couple of years too.
Oh, geez. Yeah, that's tough. So where in Michigan are you?
I'm right in Holland, right off like Michigan, basically. So
Okay.
it's south, close to the border, Indiana border, Illinois border.
Gotcha. Paints a picture. How about you, Travis? So you're down in Texas, but where in Texas?
Yeah, I'm about 30 or so minutes north of Dallas. So we're about where I'm at is probably about 45 minutes from Oklahoma. So we're pretty far north.
Gotcha. Right on.
Close to the casinos.
There you go.
Nice.
Just get you in trouble. Is sports betting legal down there?
I think it is recently up at the casinos in Oklahoma.
Okay. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Canadians come with a Bet365 account, so that's it's crazy. Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, thanks for coming on tonight, guys. It's great to
thanks for having us.
To shoot the shit. We're gonna throw some rapid fire questions at you guys a little bit later, but we'll get to that shortly. Why don't you guys give us a little background about what you got into grilling, what got you guys into grilling on a Big Green Egg? Travis, why don't you start us off?
Yeah. So my dad has always grilled, so I kind of started out on a gas grill, and then we good?
Oh. Yeah.
And
go.
And then he got a what is that thing called? It's like not a Louisiana Grills, but it's a Bayou Classic. It was their Kamado style grill, so that's kind of how I got into the Kamado style. And then, like I'm sure a lot of you guys, whenever Craig Tabor was Big Green Craig, I followed him, and that's what kind of got the bug started for me wanting to get a green egg. And then my dad got one, and then when I eventually bought my own house, he got me my own for a housewarming gift. And then, from then on, it's been, so we're building a house right now. So I've got the egg set up over here at my parents' house until our house is being done. So I cook just about every night of the week now. So cooking for the whole family, and on the weekends, my brother and sister and his wife and my sister's boyfriend and his kids come over. So on the weekends, I'm cooking for like 15 people. So it's like a little backyard egg fest myself. But
Nice.
yeah, we that's definitely something I'm passionate about is cooking. So whether it be outside or inside.
And that gives you an excuse to cook for all those people and try new things. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's been fun, and I tried that. I tried a couple of new cooks last week, and they were a hit. So it's always a plus whenever the whole family enjoys something new.
Mm-hmm. What about you, TJ? What got you into being cooking on a Bge Teamgreen egg?
So in college, I'd say two of my buddies had one. So I think one was a medium and one was a large. So we goofed around a lot with that, and that was pretty awesome. But I was in college, so I didn't have the money for that, and it took a while. Once I was married, I started with a Weber kettle, so did a lot with that, and finally, right around Father's Day, probably 6 years ago or so, I was able to score my first large, and was very pumped. That's all I wanted. I had a really sweet deal on another Kamado brand. I'm not going to mention names, but as soon as I sold it, and I actually flipped it for $100 extra. So
Hey.
I was pretty pumped, and then finally got the egg, and it's been downhill ever since with my budget.
That's fantastic.
Awesome.
And then so a lot of cooking, a lot of family events. So I cook. My wife has 4 other sisters, so there's five girls, and her parents and grandparents and all the nieces and nephews. So I'm usually cooking up a storm for a lot of people quite often. So it's very fun, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Oh, and what about kids? You guys have kids?
Yeah, I've got two. I've got a 3.5-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Nice.
So we stay busy chasing them around.
Yeah.
So an 8-year-old boy and a 5-year-old girl. She's gonna be 6.
Oh my goodness.
A month and a half.
Well,
So
I hope both you guys had a good
Sorry.
Father's Day.
did.
Yeah, definitely cooked up a lot of red meat.
That's perfect. What else could you ask for?
Right.
All right. So
No.
How was your Father's Day, Chris?
it was good. Mine was actually pretty low key. So I did cook. I made a breakfast burrito because my oldest daughter wanted to. But I didn't have. I went over to my dad's house for dinner, so he had salmon up on his Bge Teamgreen egg. And for lunch, like my wife's like, "Well, you made me breakfast and bed for Mother's Day. For dinner, you made steak and lobster. What am I going to make you?" I'm like, "How about some Kraft macaroni and cheese for lunch?" One of the few things that she can cook. She ain't listening, so it's okay. But it kind of hits the spot. I don't get to ever eat that. She makes it for the kids, and by the time all the kids eat it, I'm like, none left for me. I'm like, yeah, I want my own.
Did we marry the same person? Because my wife is a Kraft mac and cheese extraordinaire as well.
Yeah, she's very good at chicken nuggets too. Microwave chicken nuggets.
Nice.
Dinosaurs or no?
If we got them, sometimes she'll go fancy, and do the dinosaurs.
Nice.
She actually posted that one night on her Facebook page. She had like my favorite little IKEA paper or plastic plates with Kraft mac and cheese, and it was dinosaur chicken nuggets. And she goes, "Look, Chris isn't the only one that can cook."
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Mel, how about you?
I was all right.
Oh yeah. Tell me about that feast that I was drooling over.
Yeah, I did some stuff. I don't know, because the whole family's eating, right? And I'm cooking, so I may as well just load her up, right? So I did.
This guy.
Yeah. So I did a couple of the smoked Dungeness crabs. I did one of my octopus. I had a beautiful None Wagyu Holstein cross. Nice 2-inch thick T-bone. That was nice. And then I had a beautiful ribeye. And then Mel's beer corn. right?
Yeah, because clearly a 2-inch thick porterhouse isn't enough. You have to throw in a nice, ribeye too.
The ribeye helped a little bit.
The
Yeah,
ribeye
and it
was
was.
the hors d'oeuvre.
Yeah, and now so I'm a sucker for the smoked Dungeness crabs. I am an absolute fiend for them, man. I got when I visited that ranch, he gave me a pile of his homemade, like home churned butter, right? And his butter just freaking incredible. So I was dousing like a good herbed garlic butter all over these crabs as I slow smoked them, and that's the trick is all the butter gets into the joints, right? So it's like pre-buttered when you crack it open, the steam, but it's already herb buttered and just
So
Jeez, you got me ready to go eat some crabs.
yeah, man, it's you got to try it. You got to try it. It's
walk me through slow smoking a crab because if you just take the crab legs,
Yep.
they can get dried out if you just put them on the grill. So walk me through smoking the whole Dungeness crab.
So it's kind of like steaming it inside of itself.
Okay.
I'm continuously basting it with butter while I do it, and it's a low smoke 250. That's it.
Are you pretty good at that?
Mm-hmm.
Would you say you're a master?
A master
baster?
Baster? Oh, well done. Okay. Where am I going here? Where am I going? Yes, I do enjoy basting crabs.
Oh, okay.
And eating them. They're
So
quite
you're
nice.
admitting you do have crabs.
I do from time to time have crabs, yes.
Good.
And I love it. Yeah, it was a good feast. That's kind of my Mother's Day go-to.
Uh-huh.
But the girls love it, right? And the wife loves it, and I'm not complaining. So whatever, surf and turf.
It looked amazing. I've been kind of balking at cooking the whole crabs too. I mean, are you still just eating the meat out of just the claws and the legs, or do you pop open the shell and there's meat in there too?
You could eat the meat in there. So like the last time I ate, you flip the head around, it was like a satay peanut style that they did it in. I didn't do it myself, but it was nice. It was decent. Like, I don't know. I've never really gotten up and just like ate the brains myself, but you definitely could. But the leg, like the knuckle meat, when you smoke it, it's quite salvageable. It's not like you're breaking that stuff out, throwing it out with the center.
Right.
You can almost eat right to where it touches. Like it's decent meat in there. So
I gotcha.
I'm not complaining about that.
Yeah, right on. And got all that butter and herbs.
Yeah, like so when you boil them, like a lot of that gets broken up, and it ends up in the head more or less. But when you smoke it, it kind of stays intact.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so bad. So yeah, I enjoy it. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, that cook looked amazing, and that I was literally drooling over that today, looking at that again. The whole egg just loaded up on all the different levels, but the crab is something I've really been wanting to try. I just haven't made the jump to doing the whole crab like that. That's pretty awesome.
You can get creative too with your butters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Changing your flavor profile totally with your different kind of butter. Like the ones I did before this, I did the picanha and smoked crab, and I did them Cajun style. So I pummeled that butter with Cajun. And that really sucked into the meat. Like it was nice. Not spicy, but tangy, right?
And correct me if I'm wrong, like if this is the way that you guys look at something like that. But for me, crab is something that it's meant to be eaten with your hands. So a lot of the heavy seasoning is supposed to get on your fingers as you're eating it, because then it gets onto the meat that way again too. So you're supposed to be wanting to lick that seasoning off your fingers and be getting it all over. So I mean, my theory is season the hell out of it. Go for it. It's one of those things that's probably a little difficult to over season.
Yeah.
Unless you break it open and then, dump everything on there.
I would agree with that. I would totally agree with that. Same like the crawfish, right?
Right.
Yeah.
See, some guys' crawfish are like they're covered in hot sauce, like just covered in hot sauce. And still when you crack it open, it's not nearly as hot. So
mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, that's fantastic. So TJ, you are going to be having your boss over for dinner, and you really want to impress them with a meal. What are you going to make?
Well, my boss is like half step from vegan, so I'm not sure.
Oh, jeez.
But if I'm trying to impress somebody, I'd probably be throwing a brisket on and some ribs, maybe some steaks, depending on, I guess the time of week. But brisket's usually most often my show off piece that I can do. But
Sure. And us being
That's-
from the Midwest, there's not a whole lot of really good barbecue up here. Not like where Travis is, where you could throw a rock and find some. So, I mean, you could cook a bad brisket up here, and people are going to be impressed. I'm not going to say that you cook bad brisket, but it's just not something that people get a lot. So as long as they get some smoked meat, they're going to be blown away by it. That's a great choice. What about you, Travis? What are you firing up?
It's really weird.
For me, it'd definitely probably be some sort of, tri-tip or picanha or, something. Beef is king down here, like you said. So I don't have the vegan boss, but yeah, something like that. But like you said, I mean, we've got world-class barbecue just down the street. So I probably would stay away from the brisket myself. But yeah, I mean, I've been our Costco started carrying picanha, so we've been cooking picanha a ton lately, and I can't complain about that.
So how are you cooking it, and what are you serving with it?
So I don't have, like you guys had hinted at in the beginning, Rob, if you're listening, we don't have the rotisserie, so I've been cutting them into. I've done it whole, and I wasn't as big a fan as doing it whole as cutting it into steaks. Otherwise, so what I've been doing is doing the expander and throwing them on the top, just to where the meat is just barely in reach of the flame. So it's not burning, but it's still getting that flame kiss and the fat's rendering into the fire, and it's mighty tasty. And typically, all I do is just douse it in some poor sea salt, and then that's it. That's really all it needs. I this past week did it with the I don't know if you guys saw the new House Divided Lanes Reload Rub and their Cubano. I did picanha on Father's Day, smothered in that, and it was actually really good.
So
Nice.
you're absolutely right about wanting to cook that up a little bit higher because of how much fat content's in there. You'll just have giant fireballs, especially when you have that many. I mean, you can cut a decent sized picanha into about 6 steaks, 5-6 steaks. And if you have to sit there and flip all of those and you have a giant fireball, you can get away from it pretty quick. Yeah. One thing I really like doing with picanha when I cut it into steaks is try to do it the night before and salt it and let it kind of just sit and air dry and just kind of do that dry brine or kind of quick dry aging with those. It's a beautiful cut that I think takes really well to that.
Yeah, these from Costco are actually USDA choice. So I was skeptical as to how they would be, but man, they're just as tender as some of the prime and even some of the. I've done the Snake River Farms picanha, and it obviously wasn't as tender or as like succulent, if you will, as the Snake River Farms. But that choice, I mean, it holds its own, and I think it just has to do with that fat rendering down into the meat and taking your time cooking it.
Well, that's one thing too with how they grade beef, right? And those specialty cuts that are up there, right, in the animal,
right?
They don't get a lot of work. They're super tender. I think like that has a lot to do with how good that is just as a cut across the board. Because like you said, I've had picanhas from like Sobeys right down to picanha from the best butcher shop, and they're quite comparable.
Right.
Like all the time, they're quite comparable. Like tri-tips can get away on you a bit, but like a fillet, right? A fillet is just kind of really good all the time. So it is what it is. It's picanha is my favorite, man. Like you stole my heart with that one. I do love a good picanha, and to be honest with you, the last one I did, the smoked picanha, when I rolled it over the fire, it gave it a bit of a bitter taste, and I wasn't.
So that's how mine was when I did it whole.
Yeah.
It took too long to get to where I wanted it to be, and like you said, it kind of had that not burnt flavor, but kind of just like the over overly charcoal flavor, and it was still good, but it wasn't. My wife's not a big. She doesn't love the smoky, overly smoky. Like she'll eat pulled pork, but she could not have brisket the rest of her life and she'd be fine. So whenever I do stuff that's a little too smoky, she's not super keen on it.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. For sure, I'd agree with that. It's a trick with that fat cap, right? Because it wants to burn so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's dumping some super flammable juices into that fire, man. It's ready to go right now. So yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I like to do it right when I throw it on, go fat cap down, and let it really let the fire take off from that, like you said, from that fuel source hitting it. And then if it gets too out of hand, I'll shut that bottom vent down a little bit to keep the flame from getting too high. But there's something about that fat hitting that fire that just gives that beef just a ridiculous flavor.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's fantastic. Oh.
How about you, TJ? Is that a cut that you can find in Michigan?
So I have a lot of Polish butcher shops, and they all sell it as a culotte. So it's just a little bit different, but so they seem to cut them up into more like a strip with a thicker.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the culottes that you're getting, are they leaving the culotte's fat cap off, right?
Or if they cut them into steaks, they leave the fat cap on, but they're thinner. You don't get that thick. And it's almost like a throwaway meat to them.
That's what happened with me when I went to Canmore.
Yes.
I walked into Canmore and I walked past their sirloin steaks, and I was like, there's an entire aisle of picanha here. Like, what's happening? And then I go talk to the butcher, and he's like, I don't know what that is. And I said, like, pull one of these out and show it to me. And he pulls out a bag of 3, just like they have at Costco when you get them from the back. And I was like, those are picanha. And then I asked him, like, how much were they a pound? And they were, like, dirt cheap. They were burning these steaks up. So I was like, can you give them to me just like that? And he's like, well, no, I got to put them on the styrofoam. I'm like, no, don't touch them. Whatever you did here, don't do that. I just want them right out of the cryovac. And he's like, so he just weighs it, puts a sticker on it, and sells it to me. I'm like, holy crap. So I got him for like a quarter of the price. But that's how I saw him, was on the styrofoam. I was like, somebody doesn't know what's happening here. Like, this is crazy.
I saw those at my Costco, and I was in a rush. Otherwise, I would have asked to talk to the meat guys in back. No. They were cut into steaks, fat cap completely trimmed off them. There was just sirloin strips or sirloin steaks, and you could just tell by the way the grain's going, the way the marbling is, and it was their prime stuff too. So I'm like, oh.
And those are good. I don't know if you got them or not, but we were buying those for a long time, and they are super tender and good. But then, I think it's been probably 3 or 4 weeks ago they started carrying twin packs of the actual picanha, and it's like, I think $32 for 2 3-pound picanhas.
Yeah.
So it's their choice, but
I don't want to. I don't want to say this on here, but I'm going to say this on here. If you're really nice to the people in the meat department, if you find a kind soul back there, they'll sell you still in the cryovac, and they even give you case discounts if you buy a whole case.
Right.
Just saying. It's actually at Costco is pretty cool, because then they'll have 3 or 4 in the cryovac, and they'll charge you just by weight. And then they don't trim it, they don't touch it, nothing, and it's almost ready to go.
Your Costco down in Texas, Travis, do you guys have tri-tip?
Yeah, so there's, I think, 5 Costcos within, reasonably driving distance from me, and two of the 5, or 2 of the, I think it's 2 of the 5 or 2 of the 4 carry tri-tip. And typically, like last year, they would sell them in twin packs, so it's like 2.5 to 3.5 pound tri-tips, and they were probably $37, $38. In the past, 3 months, they're smaller and they're like $58. So I haven't been buying as much tri-tip, but that's kind of what we've transitioned into doing the picanha, because it's tough to beat.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I don't know about you, TJ, but like my Costco up here, we only get the pre-marinated tri-tip that's cryovac and all of it's pre-marinated, and that's new for us.
Is that from
Yeah,
like a
that's-
particular like brand or whatever? Like it's not from the butcher, or is
It's
it
not from the butcher,
labeled
no.
as Kirkland?
It might even be
Yeah.
certified Angus beef or whatever.
Okay, yeah. Because we have those too. I've never tried it, but the pre-marinated stuff I have tried hasn't been my favorite.
No.
No.
Well, the Costco up here, when you do catch tri-tip, they have their own blend of seasoning that they completely cover it in,
Yeah, that's
and
the
then
thing.
sell it like that. So yeah, it goes through like the deli or whatever, and they dish it up like that, and you can't get it like straight. So then you're stuck with it. You have to like scrape it off with a butter knife or something to try and enjoy that. It's not great. It's not great. But yeah, I don't know what kind of seasoning that is, but we're always looking for tri-tips at the old Costco.
So up there,
with that.
I mean, you don't have. Is it not? I guess easy to find a tri-tip up there.
No, man, it's quite hard to find. So especially Costco is like super seasonal up here because people still don't know what to do with it, right? The masses are just now catching on to how to process and cook these cuts. So
I'm really fortunate with the tri-tip though. Like every butcher shop and even a lot of the grocery stores, they sell them. But however, like the little family fare kind of thing down the road is like $35 for a 2.5 pound tri-tip. I about died the other day. It was mangled. It was so mangled. I don't know who cut it, but it was Edward Scissorhands.
yeah. Oh.
I got that
That's-
Halteman Family Meats Father's Day box, and man, it may be the smallest tri-tip I've ever seen. I think they're cutting tri-tips out of some calves.
That's awesome.
And it's like wrist to like, I mean, I didn't even know what it was when I pulled it out of the box. I was like, what in the world? This is a tri-tip?
Wow.
I'm guessing I've been ruined by the size of the ones from Costco or something. I mean, I'm sure it'll be delicious, but
You can just get fancy and call it Les Petites tri-tip.
Yeah, le petit tri-tip. Yeah.
no doubt, it's French.
Yeah.
Les Petites Trois.
Well, that's I've had tri-tips from Costco that were like small briskets, man.
Same.
I've
I
had
think
some.
I think it's ruined me.
Yeah. I've had some real nice tri-tips and like heavily marbled too. You start trimming a little bit, and then you look at the meat, and you're like, wow, like this is nice. This is
Yeah.
No, I did one in the Mini Max, and it was like laying over the sides. I had to tuck it and like U shape it just to get it on there.
I love the Mini Max. Such a workhorse of a unit.
Mm-hmm.
When you buy them locally, Travis, they have a huge fat cap on them.
The tri-tip?
Yeah.
Also,
He brings them back from.
My former
Go ahead.
manager is from California, and he used to really complain about them cutting the fat cap off the tri-tip. I've never done a tri-tip with the fat cap on, but he's like, y'all's tri-tips are. He's like, I can't cook them; they're too lean. Which I don't find that issue, but I've never done one with a fat cap on. But I would imagine it would be similar to doing a picanha if you did it that way.
Yes,
Yeah.
but the meat is more muscly though, right?
Yeah, so it wouldn't be as you'd have to really take time to render it down, but it's tough. Probably my go-to right now, well, before the tri-tips really kind of almost doubled in price, is tri-tip and picanha, because cooking for a crowd. I mean, you can slice that picanha so thin. I mean, picanha thin and the tri-tip thin, so you're not having to splurge on feeding a bunch of people ribeyes or buying a whole tenderloin or something of that nature.
That's one thing I wish beef ribs were cheaper. Because beef ribs are such a treat, and I want everybody that I know to have one. But at the same time, I'm not paying $20 for you to gnaw on a bone. So, you know what I mean? You got to be in the inner circle to get that beef rib.
I prefer beef rib over a brisket.
Oh, me too. 100%.
So good.
100%.
So good.
That rich beefy flavor that you get in a beef rib is seriously tough to beat.
Yeah, I love beef ribs, man. But I don't know how cheap they are down there, but up here they're not cheap at all. Like
They're not. I
they're
mean, they're
way up
not.
You can get a
Brisket
three
is
plate.
high down here right now. I mean, briskets are like $6.50 a pound right now.
Yeah.
You can get a 3-bone plate for about $27 to $30 at Costco for choice for the beef ribs. And like Travis said, when you're cooking for a crowd or cooking for multiple people, having a tri-tip or picanha, not only can you slice that to make it go longer, just based off of its shape, you can cook it and it'll be to different doneness for people. You can do the middle where you want it right at your medium rare, but knowing that the tips and the edges are going to be a little bit more, medium, which for some people is going to be pretty popular. You're going to get the people that are like, well, I'm not going to eat the red. But on the same side, you might get those people that say, hey, I had my slice of medium. Well, since I'm not having a whole steak, maybe I could have that slice of that medium rare, and you might convert a few people.
Yep.
Yeah, that's 100% accurate for my my crew. My 3-year-old son, 3.5-year-old son prefers the medium rare, and my mom and wife and my couple others prefer the more, medium to medium plus even. So, like you said, those thinner cut, like when you cut it into steaks, you can cut those ones thinner to where they're all done relatively at the same time, and you've kind of pleased everybody with just the one picanha.
Yep.
Right.
100%. That's one tricky one with the tri-tip, is that it's all over the board, right? You got your well done right down to the center. That's pretty much rare. So, yeah, it's a tough one to hit. That tri-tip, especially you're trying to break it down a bit too, right? So, yeah,
I've sous vide a few tri-tips that were. I mean, that's a fun one to sous vide because then you're sitting perfect. I mean, edge to edge, tip to tip. I mean, we've done that and done tacos that way. It's pretty awesome.
That actually sounds perfect. That's a great idea. I think I'll be doing that soon. Sous vide tri-tip. Yep. That way you can pummel it too with all kinds of spices, right? Just get
pre-seasoning in the sous vide with that. It's so thick you don't, like you said, you can get aggressive with it and it really will penetrate. And I've done a couple of tri-tips that I sous vide I did for 12, 14, 15, 16 hours sous vide, and it fall apart by the time you get done searing it off.
Yep. Well, we get these tiny little cans of chipotle peppers, and they're whole peppers that are just like almost like a tomato sauce.
Yeah, in the chipotle and adobo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the stuff. Oh man, and that's all I can think is, man, you need to toss this in the blender and throw this into a sack with some sous vide beef, man. That would be crazy.
So there you incredible. Go. Some garlic, fresh like roasted garlic or some orange peel, and kind of do like a smoky citrus.
Throw some pasta in there. Have a little mole.
Done deal, buddy. Right there. Yep. Oh, that's it. That is smoked crab and some Mel's beer corn. Fantastic. You're in it now. That's it.
I haven't done the beer corn yet. My crew is big corn off the cob folk.
Yeah. I tell you what, man, I've had so many people message me being like, every time they grill corn, they grill it too much, or it hits the fire a bit and it crisps up, whatever, right? And doing the beer corn, like it's anybody can nail it because it steams. Yeah, like it gets you all that flavor that you're looking for while grilling it, but like in a like a very basic, easy way to do it. So I've really been getting a lot of good feedback about it. But the flavors, man, I've been getting strange beers. When I go to the liquor store now, I'll look at like their singles, right, and just kind of what looks really weird, what's got a weird flavor profile, just to try and do different beer, right, for the corn.
Doing that chocolate s'mores IPA beer corn.
Yeah, exactly. That's.
What? That mango habanero tamarind lime one probably would not be a terrible beer corn.
Yeah.
Basically give you your elotes right there.
Yeah.
Oh, we got what did I cook tonight? I cooked hamburgers. Hamburgers and corn on the cob on the big green egg. That's what I cooked tonight. Nice and simple, quick Tuesday's got to be quick because it's like it's a zoo around here, man. It's getting ready for this with the kids and the dog and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my Monday and Wednesdays. My daughter has soccer, so we have to. That's why I cooked tomorrow's dinner tonight already. So my wife just has to warm it up tomorrow, and she'll be good to go.
Yeah.
So let's go to a couple rapid fire questions for these for these boys. First one's a main one that we have to ask, and I'm pretty sure I know Travis's answer. But Travis and TJ, you have to give up one of these. Are you giving up pork or beef?
Pork for sure.
Pork.
I knew Travis's.
Just like that, eh? Oh.
I love pulled pork, but
I mean,
you know,
it's not just pulled pork. You have to give up ham. You have to give up pork ribs. You have to give up
Bacon.
pork belly, sausage.
bacon's tough, but I'm still going. You can do some beef bacon, I guess. But,
sausage, ham.
I gotta go.
Ham.
you're giving up.
I have to
So
go
does that
beef.
mean you're giving up beef?
I have to give up
Damn.
beef. I'm wearing my bacon help shirt right now.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I'm giving up pork.
Oh,
Yeah,
For me, I folded as soon as I heard that question. I folded. All I could think of was ham and kubasa. And I was like, I can't live without that. Like that's my.
I do love me some honey baked ham, so that is tough. But I'm still going giving up pork for sure.
I'm with you on that one.
Never being able to taste that tender, succulent beef again was just can't do it.
Nope. All right.
Yeah.
You guys only get to use one pre-made seasoning for the rest of your lives. What is it?
One pre-made seasoning.
Yep, like one bottle of rub.
One rub for the rest of your life.
man,
Damn, that's
a
tough.
tough one.
I'll go Lane's signature all-purpose rub.
All right.
Oh man, I'm gonna have
I've
to
had
go
that on
with
everything: eggs and pork, popcorn and pork and steak and everything. Popcorn's typically my my test vessel for rubs or bacon.
What was the last one?
Testing it on bacon. I love to test new rubs on bacon. Like bake some bacon in the oven and test the rub out on there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, TJ, what do you?
I'd probably say the Meat Church Holy Gospel. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's good on pork and beef. Of which I gave up beef.
Slap Your Mama is pretty solid too.
Yeah,
that's good too.
Holy Gospel.
See that's a tough one for me. I like Slap Your Mama. That's that or Old Bay are two big ones for me around here. Tony Crutchery's right. His same deal. That's a good one. But for me, if it was one can for the rest of my life, that Montreal steak spice.
Oh yeah.
Because how do you? That's on mushrooms. That's on caramelized onions. That's on steaks, right? You ever do your romaine lettuce over the fire? Sprinkle a bit of that on there. It's fire, man. It's
it's because you're Canadian.
I do love a Montreal season. It's probably sacrilegious being down here in Texas, but I do love some Montreal seasoning.
Yeah, it's
pretty fantastic.
Yeah, it can sneak up on pork chops, right? Chicken, no problem. Like it's a tough one.
All right, TJ. Favorite way to cook chicken wings?
Fair way to cook chicken wings is, oh man, do I need to keep on the big green egg?
No, not at all.
All right,
Probably
on the kettle and the ring. So do like a little
The
vortex in the
thing?
metal.
Okay.
Oh man, hottest, crispiest on the grill I've ever gotten. So otherwise, raised direct, probably with the expander on my egg.
Okay. Travis?
For me, it's definitely the smoke fried. The smoke first for about 30 minutes, and then throw them in the wok and fry them.
Ooh, that's good too.
It's as Mel would say, it is indeed deadly.
Yeah, that sounds.
Because you get that smoky smoked flavor, and then you get the crispiness of a fried wing, and it basically needs no sauce. I mean, typically whatever I season them with ahead of time, I like to do it in like cornstarch and heavily season the cornstarch, and then smoke them, and then throw them in the fryer afterward.
I don't care who you are. Chicken was made to be deep fried. Just the way they walk says, like, deep fry me.
It's really the only.
It's a thing, man. I don't know. Like, every time I've ever seen a video of anybody deep frying chicken, whatever cut it is, whatever is happening, you're like, oh. You know it's good. You just know it's good. Those boneless, skinless chicken breasts, right? Cut into strips and deep fried for no reason. I bet you they're fantastic. Oh,
I followed the guy on TikTok just because of his fried chicken he did.
See?
I was like,
no,
And I asked this question because wings are one of those things that you can literally cook 8 different ways on your grill, depending on where you are as far as time. If you thought ahead, I mean, I'll throw some wings on frozen yet. I don't recommend doing that for everybody because they could be food safety issues. But I've definitely done it where I've taken a bag of them, like, oh shit, I really want wings. I got a bag of frozen wings. I'll just dump them on there in a pile, thaw them out that way, and grill them. And they've still turned out just fine because they're chicken wings, and chicken wings are delicious. Going back to your smoke fried wings, do you ever put a little bit of brown sugar on that seasoning with them before you fry them?
So I've done several. Like I've toyed with different seasonings. So some of them are more heavy, like sugar. Like I've done it with the honey hog, or there's a Lane's called Kapalua. It's kind of their Hawaiian rub. So it's got a pretty heavy sugar content, and I don't know that it makes them any more crispy, but you can definitely taste some of those notes of different rubs that shine through. There has been some like all-purpose rubs, like a SPG rub that I've done that yes, it was awesome, but there wasn't that one like note that really pushed it over the top. So some of those, like you do end up saucing or trying different sauces on them, but I mean, some of the rubs that you do on those are so crispy and flavorful with the smokiness of it that I'll just sit there and crush a dozen of them with no sauce or anything. I mean, it's just something about that crispy, like Mel said, that crispy chicken skin or chicken fat on there. It's just, when it's fried, it just takes it to another level.
Right on.
Oh. Well, that's the big thing when you see the heavily breaded chicken and they double dredge it, right? They let it dry out a bit on the rack before they dredge it again, and you get that super crispy skin.
So these actually, I don't even run them through an egg wash or anything. It's just cornstarch, and when you smoke them, like you said, that low smoke kind of dries them out with the cornstarch.
Yeah. And
then it's straight to the fryer. But I do want to do like what you said and really double dredge them and do like either some chicken breasts or some boneless, skinless chicken thighs and really do like some traditional, even trying a traditional smoke fried chicken thigh would probably be pretty awesome.
Well, that was my Nashville hot chicken. The first time I did it, I put so much cayenne pepper in the flour that it was like spicy before I even sauced them and refried them, right? So when I went to make the sauce to refry them, I had to add maple syrup in there to counteract how much was in the dredging. So it's like layers of too hot and then covered up with the maple syrup. And it was insanely good. And it was kind of an accident, and it turned out to be like the best batch yet. And I can't recreate that fuck up. It pisses me off now because it was so good. But
that's kind of like I made some chili for work. We did a chili cook-off at work, and I made it, and I'm like, it's going simmering, and I try it. And I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna just ruin people. It's so hot. So I just started adding tablespoon after tablespoon of honey, trying to tame it, and like. You get to work and you're like, everyone's like, how did you get it so damn spicy, but also it's sweet?
Yeah. Yeah.
And like you said, ever since then, I've never been able to recreate that bowl of chili, but Yeah, I mean, that's the joy of doing it yourself is you get to play with different ratios and all that stuff. It's
All right. Does chili have beans?
no, hell no.
So what did TJ say?
Nope.
No, two of you. So we got two meat sauce guys and we got two chili guys. This is crazy.
Where
This
you?
is
Or you got 2 chili guys and 2 soup guys.
Bean soup.
Good call. Good call.
I like the beans in the chili.
I just like
It depends.
Down here, we just
One.
consider that filler. You can't
Yeah.
afford enough beef, so you got to add beans.
It depends
Well
what I'm
played.
using it for, though. Like if I'm making chili to go on chili dogs, then it's no beans. But my chili, I like beans, and sometimes I'll put in a couple different types of beans in there.
Yeah,
The one that I caught a ton of hell for was when I put pineapple in the chili. That one a lot of people got real butthurt about. But it was
I'd eat that.
It was good. It was
That sounds
really
good.
I mean,
good.
that kind of goes with the super spicy up front, and then you got that backdoor sweetness
Yep.
that tames
Yep.
it down. I mean, it's essentially like adding the honey to it or whatever.
See, so you do pineapple, but we wouldn't do beans? That's crazy.
I'm not a big bean guy to begin with, so like when we go to like Mexican food, I'd rather have double rice than have beans with it. So unless it's like a good like charo bean, like I do love like a good charo bean, like bean soup or something. But yeah, I mean for the most part, chili growing up was no beans.
You could
Wow.
put a scoop of peanut butter in your chili too. And as long as you know that nobody has a nut allergy, what it does is it just kind of melts into it and gets it this creamy, just nice flavor to it.
Chris is out here handing out bowls of chili and EpiPens.
Yeah, that's called job security. He's the job security guy, right?
Earning my bonus.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's it. EpiPens. I happen to have a bag right here. That's it.
Get a great deal on it.
Oh my lord!
Yeah.
But
Yeah, them nut
if
allergies,
we're going
man,
on controversial recipe ads, are we pro pineapple on pizza or no?
Sure.
I personally don't mind it.
I'm all about that.
I mean,
I love it.
It depends on what else I'm having with it. Like, I just won't throw pineapple on any pizza. But if I have a pineapple, a Canadian bacon, and some jalapenos on there, yeah.
So I like the pineapple, pepperoni, and jalapeno.
Okay.
Is what I like.
Yep.
Which also goes back to the pineapple kind of tames that heat for you. So it's
That's a pizza that we order a lot around here. Instead of ham and pineapple, it's pepperoni and pineapple. That's a good one.
I've not had that way. We do a green olives, pineapple, and ham.
Oh,
Nice. Yeah, I'm a sucker for olives too. Yeah. Yep.
I just realized there's like a lot of comments and stuff during this.
yeah.
The trolls don't pop up right in your face like they do on Instagram.
That's how I left before. The chat is right next to the leave button, and I got fat fingers.
Yeah.
So it's the second week in a row where I left the chat.
Yeah, you got to be very accurate with your collect.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I do love a good pizza, man. That's if you had to say your best pizza you've ever made yourself, what was on it?
You want to go first, Chris?
Pesto, leftover Snake River Farmers Wagyu beef, gorgonzola, and I do balsamic onions. So I caramelize onions in the last 30 seconds. I hit it with the balsamic vinegar, and it really gets them nice and sweet. So it played well with the real garlicky basil pesto and the funky gorgonzola. That was my favorite pizza.
That sounds awesome.
Delicious.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Mel? Watermelon pizza? Okay, Travis?
Oh, get out of here. Jesus.
Watermelon pizza stuffed inside of octopus is
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. I don't know, man. My favorite goes back to the feta cheese, dry crumbled feta cheese, olives like a Mediterranean, but I used picanha,
Okay.
and for the sauce, I mixed Greek dressing in with the tomato sauce,
Oh, okay.
and I really liked it. So it was like a Greek, and the meat was picanha.
What you could probably do is take some like crushed tomatoes and use that Trompo King Euro seasoning, which is really good. Would pretty quickly make up a nice tomato Greek sauce. That sounds fantastic, Mel.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, this is a true story. When I was out visiting Jeremy, right? Him and his wife, they take a lot of pride, and they've got some pizza ovens and stuff. They take a lot of pride in their pizza. Unfortunately, by the time the pizza rolls out, I'm usually too loaded to eat it. So everybody just got a 3 across the board. That was and his wife was like, "Mel, you can't stand. I'm not accepting your 3." I'm like, I'm sorry. Yeah. So
sorry for partying.
That's a pretty bold move.
You invited me, okay?
I'm sorry for rocking too hard.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry that you can't handle my roctitude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a word. All right, Travis, what do you got?
So for me, I actually got one of those Gosney rock boxes for Christmas. I don't know if you guys have seen it. But man, that thing has been a blast to play around with. And the local, like it's kind of like a New York style pizza shop here locally. They sell their dough balls. So I haven't really dabbled in making my own dough yet, but they sell their dough balls for like $3. So we'll go up there and get like 6 or 8 different dough balls, and then that's the joy of once again cooking for yourself. You can kind of play with different combos. So my favorite so far has been like a barbecue sauce base, leftover brisket, Colby Jack cheese, cook, finish with red onion and cilantro, and then drizzle it with more barbecue sauce. So it's been the barbecue pizzas that we do have typically been the favorite of the night. Or the other one that we did that has been a favorite is kind of like yours, Chris, was a pesto base. We bought a rotisserie chicken from Costco, pulled the chicken, did mozzarella, and finished it with sliced cherry tomatoes and balsamic drizzle.
Oh, that sounds good too, like a little caprese pizza.
Yeah, it's solid.
Awesome. Wow. Mr. Cannon.
So I think my favorite was a few months back. I started tinkering with the dough for my Detroit style. So I made a few of them with probably what's going to be my final recipe on that. So as far as the dough itself, and they were really, really good on the egg. Just rotate it after spinning about 15 minutes and cook it about 20, 30 minutes total, and so crispy and buttery on the edges. So I have my own sauce recipe I've made over the years. Just basic tomato sauce with some, herbs and seasoning, and then cook it the night before usually, and fresh mozzarella and whatever toppings. I think that one was just pepperoni for the kids.
So technically the Detroit style pizza, you cook it in the tin, and actually I got one of these and I love it. It's fantastic pizza. The dough, I don't know a ton about dough, but I know that it's a higher hydration dough, right?
Yeah.
That's used for the Detroit style pizza, but cheese goes on top of the dough first, right? So the dough is pretty heavily oiled, just in the process of letting it rise, which, the ones that I've done it, like the process of letting it rise was like 3 hours long as you're, keep putting it in there and moving it. But you do cheese first, then like lines of your sauce, and then your pepperonis, or do you do pepperonis on top of the cheese and then the sauce?
So it depends on, some places they do like the meat first and then cheese and then the sauce on top, or they do the cheese, meat, and then sauce on top. The sauce is usually the last one, and you're making your little lines. But I found the same dough, just putting the sauce down, the cheese, and the ingredients on top. The flavor isn't really much different, and it's a lot less messy for kids. So That's the way I normally do it.
My favorite part of that pizza is that you
The
get
corners.
all the corner pizza and the cheese you put wall to wall, so you get these crispy cheese bites around the edges.
So good.
Oh, it's just fantastic.
Feel so fat when you're done. It's so good though.
Yeah, it's worth it.
So is that like a deep dish or what?
Yeah. Yep. It's
Essentially a square deep dish, though.
Okay. Yep.
That's
think the
you
old
said
Pizza
Detroit?
Hut Bigfoot. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Because I've been seeing people making like 2-inch deep tray pans of pizza, and
It's a Lloyd pizza pan was the brand that I have, and now you just made me want to get that out this weekend. So
yeah. But how
If you
do
had
the
this,
toppings cook that thick?
So I mean, because you're doing it you're not doing it like 500 degrees. You're doing it at baking temp. So
Okay.
so that you're just and it's in there for 20-30 minutes. So
Yeah.
and rotate it out, and everything's. You do it a little too soon, you're gonna have a little bit doughy in the middle. So you just have to,
Yep. Oh, that
Hopefully.
sounds awesome.
The other big hit we've done is dessert pizzas. We do a Nutella s'mores pizza.
Oh, nice.
So it's like Nutella base, then crushed graham cracker, and marshmallow, and then drizzle it with more, melted Nutella at the end.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds fantastic.
I
We typically hit it with a little powdered sugar.
Yep.
dude,
Yep.
I now that you mention that, I want to do a peanut butter and banana, chocolate drizzle, and then bacon crumbled over the top.
Oh.
I
Sounds
don't
like
know
we
why.
need to visit one of Mel's joint throwing festivals
Yeah.
he goes to.
That's
Pick a few
it.
joints and just come up with wild pizzas.
Yeah, I was literally just thinking, dude, that's the best food truck idea in the entire planet right there. Dessert pizzas. That's it.
Then you
Yeah.
do
One of
the
the ones
churro.
that one of the Gosney recipes is like a vanilla mascarpone cheese on base,
Yeah.
and then you hit it with like some, I think it was raspberries and blackberries, and then you finish it off with like some mint and powdered sugar or something. Sounded pretty good too.
Wow.
Yeah. Jeez, that's
What a churro pizza.
yeah.
Some sort of like
Exactly.
caramel and cream cheese frosting. Oh,
Yeah.
Chris is
That'd be
going down
so
the
good.
stoner rabbit hole right now.
Yeah, that's it. That's
What
it.
about
what about a
Captain
pizza
Crunch?
with Funyuns and
Yeah.
Cheetos?
What about bagel bite pizza?
I'd still be that kid that rolls in there with like just the Reese's Pieces. Just dough and Reese's Pieces, and I'd be like, whatever, I don't care. That's
It would be awesome.
yeah, this is my deep dish dessert pizza right here.
Detroit
Full
style
of peanut butter.
Yeah. My dad one Christmas. No, I don't know what it is about those Reese's Pieces. I never buy them. They've always just been a gift, or like someone had one in their desk or something, and I'd have one. But I never buy them, but they're my absolute favorite. And one year someone got him it's like a big Christmas tree that was glass, and it was full of like trail mix, but it had Reese's Pieces in it. Like the M&Ms, but Reese's Pieces, right?
So it's
And
all
he turned
nuts.
he turned around like an hour later, and it was just nuts and raisins. He's like, wait a minute. Like, how did you like I just intricately emptied it and then refilled it back up. He's like, how did you do? Like, completely cleaned it. It was so bad, but so good. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is your go-to beverage of choice while you're grilling?
Oh.
Mr. Cannon, we'll start with you.
I'm basic. Diet Coke or Mountain Dew.
Diet Coke or Mountain Dew? So regular Mountain Dew?
Yeah.
Okay. So only Diet Coke, but it's the regular Mountain Dew?
Well, Diet Coke, I just like the flavor of it. So.
Okay. that's
And
fair.
Mountain Dew Code Red.
No, just regular Mountain Dew. Or Dr. Enough, if anybody knows what that is, I'll give them extra points. So
Is that Dr. Pepper?
no, Dr. Enough.
Is
Is
it
that the
like Dr.
northern
Pepper?
version?
No, it's like that and Mountain Dew, I guess, kind of started the same kind of time frame down there in Tennessee. So it's pretty fun. It's like they call it their little energy drink or something, but it's just soda like anywhere else. But it's really good.
Well, Mountain Dew, crazy.
Yeah, I'm wild.
Yeah,
Oh, hopped up on Mountain Dew, Chip.
that's what I was just thinking. Wow.
Beat your ass.
Yeah, we have Mountain Dew up here, but like I haven't ever seen anybody drink it.
Oh, my buddy Ty, my old roommate, Smoking Ty. You guys know him. When we were in college, he was having this thing where his heart was skipping beats. And he had to wear the Holter monitor and all this. And they're like, well, I was doing some weird shit. It wasn't bad. And Ty's like, yeah. Then the guy asked me how much Mountain Dew I drank. And I'm like, you always buy Mountain Dew. How much Mountain Dew do you drink? He goes, I don't know, 10 to 12 a day. I was like, oh.
Holy shit.
You could have saved some money.
That'll do
I'm
it.
not that level.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
He's cut way down.
I do drink coffee too, so
Okay.
not just Mountain Dew.
Travis?
It kind of just depends on what time of year it is. Summertime's typically a beer, or like TJ said, a Diet Coke, or if it's super hot, or depending, if the wintertime, it's typically probably a bourbon. Get that liquor blanket going, and then we've been drinking some wine. Hey, we had that crazy winter storm this year.
Yeah, that was nuts. Did you stay safe during that?
Yeah, we were pretty lucky. We did have the rolling, like it was an hour on, hour off for I think 3 days straight for power. So it's like you're scrambling time, scrambling. All right, if you need to take a shower, you do it now because we're about to, you'll be showering in the dark and then have cold water.
Right.
But other than that, like we didn't have any pipes bust or anything like that. But I know some of my friends weren't quite as fortunate.
That was nuts.
Well, I've seen so many people like TJ, right, talking about reef aquariums and stuff. I couldn't even imagine having to go through that stuff, trying to keep a reef going or something like that's insane, man. It's impossible.
You're also the one that's grilling in flip flops in a robe and minus 32.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You were probably smoking a cigar, looking at us like, what the hell?
Yeah, no. I did have a lot of friends in Texas that were like sending me all kinds of like, you ever have pipes explode from your ceiling? I'm like, man, we got no pipes in our ceiling because they would all explode every year. Why do you have pipes in your ceiling? Who did that? Like, what is crazy? But
yeah, we're not built for that for sure.
Well, no, exactly.
And your biggest problem wasn't just the pipes in the ceiling; it was the power grid infrastructure couldn't handle it, right? So, I mean, if you all had power, you wouldn't have burst pipes.
Yeah, now they're trying to tell us that they're experiencing the same stuff with the heat. And you said, guy, you told us not to get polarizing, but they sent out a memo saying that we should keep our house at 76 during the day, 85 if you leave, and 78 while you sleep.
Yeah,
something of that nature. We keep it like 69 degrees when we sleep.
Yeah.
So and they're trying to say that now. I mean, Texas has always been Texas. It's hot as hell in the summertime. So I'm not sure where they're trying to fool with that one. I guess maybe the Californian people that are moving in.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. And for me, when I sleep is when I want it the coldest.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like I can handle it warmer during the day, but when it's sleeping, I mean, and I'm still like on top of the covers, air's on, the fan's on above the bed. I'm like, no, cool me down.
So y'all have central air up there, I assume.
Yep.
No.
I figured you don't because you're, how many months of the year are you cold?
Yeah. No, that's
8, 9.
My wife will sleep with the bedroom window open when it's minus 30 outside. So I'm used.
You married up.
Yeah, I'm used to just whatever. It could be 30 above outside, and I'm still gonna sleep with a blanket on because I just know better.
Yeah, it's like
I hate waking up like this. Like what Chris is just explaining is like my worst nightmare. I would die. That's it. I would wake up in the middle of the night like shivering. I don't know.
Yeah.
I fall asleep warm. I can't.
Oh, every single night I start out on top of the covers. It drives my wife nuts because she's trying to pull them.
Yep.
You and me both, Chris. My wife sleeps with like 3 blankets and also invested in a heater blanket. I'm like, get that on your damn side. I don't want any part of that.
That's hilarious.
Doesn't have a cooling feature.
Yeah, that's what I need is a bed cooler.
Yep. Oh,
I believe that's also the bourbon blanket.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, it works both ways. That's yeah.
I can confirm that the smoke wagon is a solid pour. I'm a fan.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I gotta try that stuff.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for it. We don't see a lot of that up here.
If we have the Eggtoberfest, I'll bring a few bottles in tow.
Well,
That's
there you
it.
go.
Did you ever see you ever see the Crown Royal Texas?
Crown Royal Texas.
So the Crown Royal Rye came out with a Texas Mesquite, which was only available in Texas, and it was a smoked Crown Royal, and it was amazing.
Never had it.
Oh, buddy.
I spent some time up in Canada, actually, 2019 for, I'm in the building materials world is what I do for a living. So I got to go up to Cedar School. We were up in like Kelowna and Seattle, or not Seattle, Vancouver, and kind of in between there, we got to go to all the cedar mills and whatnot. But the specialty drink of the trip was a cedar smoked. I think it was Knob Creek or something, but it was nice.
Yep. Yeah, there's a ton of cedar up here. Ton of cedar.
Oh, yeah. I think 90% of the cedar that we sell down here comes from up there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I believe that. It's not so good for food. Yeah.
Not unless you're doing like cedar plank salmon or something like that.
Oh, that's It's, you know what we would kill for?
Pretty harsh.
If mesquite or pecan would survive the winter. Unfortunately, a lot of those really nice hardwoods can't survive the cool. So, yeah.
Yeah, mesquite is definitely king down here. We have several steakhouses down here that they cook their steaks over live mesquite.
Oh, well, yeah. I cannot wait. So we've got a sister shop in Fort Worth, and I cannot wait.
Not far from me.
It's on the bucket list, man, to roll in there because the boss always sends me. He's like, I'm eating at so-and-so's for lunch, and he's like, whoa. They even came out, one of the breweries down there came out with a Pantera line of beer. And I was like, you better get me a can of that, just a can even. Like, that's badass.
Are you in oil and gas?
Yes, I am, yeah. So that's all kinds of fun. Because that's essentially what Alberta is. Alberta's oil, gas, beef, a lot of prairies, a lot of agriculture, a lot of oil.
So, in relation to Kelowna, how far away is that from you?
Kelowna's BC, 6-hour drive.
So we flew from Kelowna to Calgary. Are you in between that, or?
I'm 2 hours north of Calgary if you drive real fast.
Okay. Yeah, we got hosed in Calgary and missed our flight.
Yeah. Yeah, Calgary's decent. A lot of cowboys down there.
Airport was nice.
Yep. Yeah, Edmonton's a lot of fun. I really like. I'm born and raised up here, so it's nice. I like it.
So where is it that whenever you're vacationing in the mountains and you're cooking on the old Minimax, where is that at?
That's Invermere in British Columbia. So they have a really nice lake, kind of right in the middle of like a great big valley of mountains. It's gorgeous, man. That's God's country up there. It's something else.
So is that in the direction of going toward Kelowna?
Yeah.
So we went to a winery there in Kelowna that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, there's a ton of wineries out there.
That one's also on a lake, I believe.
Yep.
A really, really, really big lake.
Yeah, that's what is in Kelowna? It slipped my mind now. But yeah, there's some nice water out there. It's gorgeous, gorgeous. Bad forest fires though, all the time. It's always on fire. But gorgeous country. The wineries are so tricky. One thing I don't understand about wineries is why they don't have a restaurant. Right?
It's supposedly that terrain where that one was, they called it the Sonoma of the North.
Okay.
Or something of that. So, we they had a full blown. It was like our celebration of graduating senior school. So we had a steak dinner and all the different wine pairings and the dessert wines and all that. But they did say that it was outside of that terrain, it was.
Well, you tried pulling up the chat. I think one of the reasons why some of these wineries don't have restaurants is the same reason why some of our microbreweries don't have restaurants with it, because they don't want to get the food license to go along with their alcohol license.
Huge headache, right?
It is, having to do that, most of that. So that's why a lot of them are just bringing in food trucks.
Yeah.
Or hiring Mel to come to events.
That's it. That's man, I would love to do a winery. I would love to, man. So where he's talking about in Kelowna, actually, there's one, the wine field comes down the hill, and there's an old steam engine train that runs into a tunnel that cuts right along the edge of the vineyard. And when you're sitting down there on those little French tables with the white cloth and you're having your wine with your wife and you got way too much of a buzz on and you're both lying to each other about how pissed you actually are, right?
Uh-huh.
And then this train rolls through there. Like, it's the most, you actually feel like you're sitting on a postcard in one of those vineyards. It's like, it's picturesque. It's crazy. I absolutely dig that, man. But that's what me.
Open the chat, Travis?
Do what?
Were you trying to open the chat and you press leave?
No, my phone popped up and said it was about to die, so I ran and grabbed my charger. So I guess that's why it booted me out.
Oh, well, that was quick. You were pretty fast.
Yep.
Not far from the old garage here.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
So, Travis, it's Tuesday night. Tomorrow's Wednesday morning. I see the bike behind you. Were you gonna hop on it 5:45 tomorrow morning?
Yeah, you riding with me?
Yep.
You pick the ride. I'll be there.
I'm trying to think. What time I have to operate. I think I don't know.
I don't think I'm operating
at 8. So I think we can do it at no. I think we can do it at 6, and not 5:45.
I'm down. I took today off. That Sunday and then Monday back-to-back rides was rough.
I did a low impact and it was rougher than I thought. I'm still sore. I'm turning into an old man.
I feel bad.
About 45 years old.
TJ's back there. He looks like he's tripping balls on mushrooms or something.
No.
All of a sudden, it seemed like, what are you doing back there, man?
I'm not a Pelotoner.
Well, TJ's he's not that far from me, but he's a time zone over, so it's got to be 10:30 over by him.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Yeah,
it's like daytime out here. It's crazy.
Is it 9:30 your time, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the crazy thing about TJ is you could go like a half hour, and you're a half hour in the past, right?
Yes, I mean,
time travel.
If I was in the UP, probably in the same, longitude line, I'd probably be actually central because it jets in and out so much over there. So oh,
we lost him too.
1.21 gigawatts. That's it. He's
Should have
got
grabbed some ice while I was gone.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's a good time. It's a good time.
Yeah, it was weird. My phone said it was like low and then kicked me.
Yep.
We're on the charger now.
Yeah, that's hilarious, man. That's
Well, let's talk this upcoming weekend. You boys got any cooks planned for this coming weekend?
Shoot, the weekend seems so far away. Like you said, you and I both woke up thought it was Wednesday. So, I vacuum packed and froze a lot of that Haltman stuff I got. I thought I was gonna be able to cook more of it, but yeah, I kept the little. You know what? I'm gonna show you guys this trick because you have to see it to believe it. Let me grab it real quick. It's a tiny little guy.
Well, Mel, you got any plans for this weekend? Are you doing any trial runs on Elvira?
Oh, you want to hear?
Hey.
Yeah.
My phone died.
Holy cow! Le Petit Tri-Tip.
I told you guys.
Le Petit.
I mean, this thing it's the size of my damn hand.
Wow. So you've got a veal tri-tip.
Or a sheep tri-tip or something.
It's gonna end up being the tastiest tri-tip he's ever had.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say that's probably.
And that's the thing. Like nothing I've had from them has been subpar. Like it's awesome, but being in a package deal, it makes you wonder. Like, are they just sending? It's a set price for the package deal. I mean, is that your way of punting on your smaller items, or I don't want to call anybody out, but the 3-pound tomahawk this weekend, I mean, basically made it worth it. So,
yep.
But I couldn't believe the size of that tri-tip. I mean,
that is nuts.
I don't know if it's, like I said, being spoiled by the ones from Costco or not, but
I've got a tomahawk that I'm almost scared to cook.
Too big or what?
I wouldn't be surprised if it's 7 pounds.
Oh,
yeah, it's
sounds about standard here down here in Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas.
Well, that's what they say. Yeah, this sucker, she's easily 4 inches thick, with a 3-foot bone on her.
And you still had some rib meat on the bone,
3-foot boner.
Yeah, man. She's big, man. It's holding it with 2 hands, right? And like the steak is a roast for sure, So I'm pumped to try that.
Cut the bone to get it on the XL even.
Well, he's got a 2X.
I got a 2X. We got her all taken care of. Yeah.
I guess everything's bigger in Canada.
Yeah, it's Alberta, man. It's the second Texas. That's everything. Everything's got lifted letters out here. Everything.
Yeah, you got that 1,000-gallon smoker.
Yeah.
Sure. You do have the beast.
Yeah, Elvira. She'll be running this weekend.
What about
running this weekend? So
you, TJ? Do you have any cooks planned for this weekend?
No, I'm not. It's been the worst 2 weeks with work. So I've been
hot dogs.
No, I'll be doing something. So this weekend we were at my parents' house. So I didn't really get any cooking done because they wanted to order out for everything. So it was Indian and Mediterranean. So I'm itching to do something. So I'll be throwing down something tomorrow night and then get going again.
Nice.
I feel like it's been kind of slacking for a week.
I've been craving Indian so bad. I wish you hadn't said that because I want to order out so bad.
It was so good.
Oh, man. We used to have this place down by my old house. Like the most authentic place you could ever think of. I used to order butter chicken and their garlic naan breads, and they had the proper oven where they'd smack it on the side, and they do a garlic. What is the name of that? Whatever. It was a beautiful garlic butter, hand done naan bread, and then you just get a pail of hot butter chicken.
So
and that's
good.
all I would do is make these stupid rolls of butter chicken with a little bit of rice and garlic and eat them like donairs, right? But 3 of those, you just took in 4,500 calories. Like, you could feel it in your neck veins. Like, everything is tighter now, right? You just, the compression ratio is insane, but it was so good. Oh, and then you'd sleep for 2 days.
Oof.
Yeah.
My
Nice.
my favorite Canadian dish is a little poutine.
Oh, yeah.
Is that your terrain, or is that further east?
No, poutine is right across the board, man. As soon as something's labeled as a Canadian thing, it's in every province right across. They embrace it really hard. Poutine is so our A&W, like our little burger joint right down the street, they have their own signature poutine, and it's like proper cheese curds brought in from Montreal. Like, they don't skimp out. Everyone like knows what a proper poutine is. Whether you're getting it from Pizza 73 or Pizza Hut or whatever, like, they know what's in it, and they have to have the right ingredients. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
We have a place down here that does it with brisket burn ends. Like, I think it's burn
Nice.
ends that they do with it. It's pretty solid.
That's what you got to do if you're gonna shine them on. If you're gonna promote them at all, make them give you a cheese curd before they cook it, and see if it squeaks.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you sort it out.
Tattletown's love language right there.
You gotta have the squeaky cheese curds.
Squeaky cheese curds, or it ain't curds, man. That's yeah. You got to know they're spending it. If they're charging for it, you got to know they're spending it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like where your head's at.
Oh yeah. That's so we do up here. We do a beer cheese. They take the top froth off the beer and they make a cheese out of it, and it's almost like a twisted stick. And then they'll smoke it with like a heavy grain salt over top to finish it off. I cannot. So we went to the farmers market on the weekend to pick up my sausage. My South African guys that do the boerewors, they're in this farmers market, and the cheese factory happened to be there. So I showed Mom. I'm like, "This is the beer cheese I'm eating at the brewery all the time." And she had one piece, and she's like, "We have to get like a kilo of this right now. Like, this is." I'm like, "No."
Makes me think
Well, you know what I
drugs.
mean, like, yeah. But it's heavy. It's heavy cheese, man. But it's good.
Damn, man, that sounds awesome.
I try and avoid the cheeses whenever possible because they're good.
I love cheese.
Yeah.
Oh,
I agree, Chris. I agree.
I got some stuff I'm gonna be cooking this weekend too. I got to get ready for vacation, so I'm gonna be doing some jerky.
Nice.
I got a ham that I'll smoke and then put on my meat slicer for sandwich meat. Yeah, my girls they're at home and now and school being out, and they want ham, and the ham from the deli isn't as good, so they want the smoked ham. They're damn picky now.
Yep.
Yep.
I don't like that ham. I want the ham that you make. All right.
One thing that I will be doing the next time we do a big road trip,
Uh-huh.
The homemade nuts and bolts.
What's that?
So it's pretzels, Cheerios, the
Chex Mix?
shred, the trail mix or Tex-Mex, whatever they call that.
Chex Mix?
Yeah. So up here we call them nuts and bolts, but yeah, they do. You spray it down with olive oil, season it up, you smoke it just a little bit,
Okay.
and then it goes in the sandwich bags for the road trip.
So we do these things that they're like cracked pretzels. You buy just a giant bag of pretzels. They have this butter oil or for popcorn. It's like popcorn butter oil. You get that. It is like a packet of the ranch dressing seasoning. And maybe that's it. I think we add some dill to it. Dill and a little bit of garlic to it extra. But you just put it in this thing and shake it up, and that's it. And it is like crack.
We do that with Ritz crackers and add red pepper flakes and call them like firecrackers or something like that.
Oh, yeah. For the little oyster crackers.
Yep.
Yeah, that or we do like the full blown cracker. But yeah, it's like you said, it's like crack for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
Oh,
Doing the
Yeah,
pretzels
probably
with that like honey mustard, the same way you did it. Like those old fashioned what was that? It wasn't Bush brand. Remember the beer company used to make like pretzels back in the day?
Yeah.
It was a Midwestern thing. Anyway, it was just like those that they used to do. They used to make the honey mustard or Dijon mustard pretzels, wherever they were. So good.
Wow. That sounds awesome too.
Dots Pretzels makes a honey mustard now.
Dude,
Yes.
Dots is unbelievable. They have a Southwestern version down here that's ridiculous.
They have a Southwest.
Yeah,
They have
that's good too.
They just came out with their honey mustard, or at least it came out in Wisconsin recently.
I haven't
I've seen
had that one, but they're original and the Southwestern are, like you said, they're
Those are
the old Pringle. Once you pop, you don't stop.
Yep.
Tell us about this
awesome.
jerky you're doing this weekend.
Yeah.
Well, I went crazy with our festival that had our festivals, our local grocery store. They had all this meat pre-sliced for jerky, and it's a 1/4 inch thick. It's about this long, so I cut it in half, and it's like the perfect size pieces. And I really love the PS seasonings. Both you guys know PS seasonings, but they're pre-made jerky. And it's been the teriyaki. The teriyaki mix that they have. It comes with the cure and the seasoning packet. It's really solid. And then I always add extra 16 gauge coarse black pepper to it.
Okay. Sounds good.
And this is sacrilegious, but I always do my jerky on my Traeger.
I was going to ask, how are you? How are you doing it?
Thing I use my Traeger for, but I won't get rid of it because of that. So it's in my garage. I'll dig it out because it's hide behind a bunch of stuff from when I was doing all my projects and stuff in our kitchen. But I put it on there at 175 super smoke, and it's on there for 4 hours, and it's perfect every time. I've done it on the egg a whole bunch, different ways where you lay it flat. I've done it where I put it on skewers on like the top rack and let them dangle down. And nothing beats the Traeger for this. I mean, it's the Traeger. I lay them flat so it stays and kind of cooks in that juice a little bit longer, which I think I like. I think that definitely helps. And you don't really have those hot spots when it's at 175.
Yep. See, so with Elvira, because she's so long, the top section, when I'm doing sausages up there, they end up perfectly red.
Right.
Like that beautiful mahogany.
Yeah.
Oh man. I was drooling seeing your sausage.
Yeah, it's a weird sweet spot up, and that's all I could think was like, imagine how much jerky you could stuff up here.
Right.
In this just section, like just for. So I think now that I got a fair amount of cooks booked up with this thing, I'll have stuff prepared to do stuff like that while I'm doing other stuff, right?
Right.
Because otherwise you're just standing there drinking beer all day, and you can't have that. So as long as I remember,
it's going to be fired up anyway. So at that point,
yeah, that's the thing, right? Like you're running it either way. You got all that real estate, like it's. Yeah.
Yeah, I love jerky. It's not something that I always think about to make in the summer. For whatever reason, to me, jerky is more of a fall, winter type thing.
Yep.
I don't know why.
Awesome road trip snack, though.
Yeah, exactly.
We're headed to Florida end of July, so it's got my gears grinding there, thinking about how to whip up my own, because I'm sure up there, the same as here, it's buying your jerky is not cheap.
Well, that's one thing I always take kind of a pleasure in whenever we're traveling is going to new places, new butcher shops, right?
Uh-huh.
And right away, what do you have for jerky? And then throw it in the console for the drive home, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you get to find new things, different like those the Jaeger sticks. I think they call them Jaeger sticks, the chimney sticks.
Land Jaeger.
Yeah, the Land Jaegers. Yeah, like all kinds of crazy stuff that you'd never see before, and all of a sudden you're in some specialty butcher shop, and they're like, we have 6 different kinds of this.
I've seen places with Land Jaegers that look like brats.
Yes.
You're just like,
what is it, like a meat stick almost?
It's like a meat stick, but it's definitely a high smoked one, but it's bigger. Like it's like some of them are literally.
Yeah, it's a dried out sausage.
Right.
Like a proper size Italian link sausage.
Started as
That's right out.
So not like a hunter stick.
Well, they're big. They're like a proper
circumference. Are they like?
No, like it's like a brat, like
an inch,
Really?
like
an inch around for sure.
Brat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the old quarter up there in Canada called?
Any ones?
Like a Canadian quarter. Yep, exactly. That's
What is it called again?
A
A loon?
a loony.
Loony. That's it.
No, but that's you look at it and you'd think like, okay, so I have to cook this,
Right.
but no, they're perfectly prepared like a pepperoni stick.
Yep.
Only and it's a heavy smoke on them, but they're definitely seasoned like a summer sausage almost. Like they're really flavorful, and that's those weird little butcher shops, man. That's where you find. We did this with a teriyaki, but then it's got a pineapple habanero glaze on it, and you're like, what? Gonna add that to the old list, right? Like,
as soon as your borders are open, you fly to Dallas. I'll pick you up at the airport. And we'll road trip down to all the way down to Austin, and we'll hit every barbecue joint between here and there.
I will hold you to that, fine sir, because that's on my bucket list for sure.
I myself haven't done it. There's a little Texas Monthly magazine. There's like a whole barbecue road trip that you can do, and
I told Lisa I was gonna have to buy one of those Pelotons a month before that trip just to get ready to do the trip.
Buy it after for recovery.
Yeah, I plan to gain 45 pounds on this trip, just so you know. Yeah, man. Anytime I see any of those posts, people eating at those massive barbecue joints.
Franklin's.
Yeah, like
I haven't had Franklin's yet.
Everything on there. The sausage links are perfect. The turkey, right? Whatever's on that platter, everything looks just amazing. So yeah, I'm pumped. I'm pumped to do that trip.
Yeah, we got a guy here local in Fort Worth who does Wagyu briskets, and his brisket is probably the best I've ever had. But he's not like those bigger guys that are putting out 150, 200 briskets a day kind of guys. He's putting out a smaller amount, but man, his briskets they're insane. And he's just recently started doing breakfast, so he does a breakfast brisket biscuit with like a chimichurri and a pickled red onion.
Yeah,
it's next level.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy. Yeah, that salt lick is something that I can't wait. And that's one of those things where like I'll pay ahead of time, but I'm gonna walk up there and snatch a sausage right off the. Be like, no, I'm from Canada. This has to happen. Yeah, like.
That place in Fort Worth, they do a brisket boudin that is unreal.
What?
Oh.
Yeah, it's a magical experience for sure.
Oh man, that sounds amazing.
Leftover brisket, and he turns it into the boudin.
Yep. Yeah, I love a good boudin. And that's it's got to happen, man. It's got to happen.
I'm serious. I'll pick you up. Let me know. Yeah. Let me know ahead of time to take off work for a week, and we'll tear up the pavement.
I'll be down, man. That's it. We got to find a jacked up truck, though.
Oh, we can do that. We can pick up Swiss along the way as well.
Perfect. Then the whole trip I'll be doing this one again.
It's got to be much bigger than that.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. I think me and him talked about that. He's like, I'm just going to punch you in the mouth once, and then it'll be done. Then we're good. Okay, perfect. I'll take one quick one.
All right, Swiss, it's your turn. All right, Mel, it's your turn. All right, let's get on the road.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh shit. Well, boys, I think we got to get TJ to bed.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Or get him a Mountain Dew, something. That's it.
There you go. This was great.
Yeah, this is fantastic. Boys, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Gosh,
thank you.
It's been a whole hour and 45 minutes. Holy shit.
Here we go.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Oh, yeah. Right on, boys. Well, thank you very much for joining in. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and for those of you guys that don't, give these guys a follow too, at Cannons Barbecue, CANNONS _BBQ. and at Travis Backyard Barbecue, TRAVIS BACKYARD BBQ. Give them both a follow. They're both members of BGA Team Green, cranking out some great grub, great food, great guys to follow too. So go ahead and give them a quick follow.
That's it. And ask them anything, even at 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, ask
That's
them
it.
you know, exactly how do you do a brisket.
Yeah.
Please let me know at 2 a.m. how badly I cook something as well. That's my favorite.
Those are always good. That's
And before we leave, I have to get it in. Go Cowboys.
Oh.
And Des caught it.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. Really, you didn't. And I don't even have anything to say yet because our season could go one of two ways.
Yeah, I mean, you have a quarterback right now, right?
Well, we have a quarterback. We just don't maybe have the MVP quarterback.
Who is the backup guy? What's his name?
Jordan Love.
What was
we traded for Jared Goff.
Or Blake Bortles.
Hundley's not there anymore?
No, he's a free agent right now. Hundley was in Arizona the last 2 years. And last I talked to him, right now, dude's just living the dream. He's traveling right now. He's been doing a lot of work with his foundation. Great dude. He's got a lot of work that he does with that.
Yeah, he seemed like an awesome guy.
Yeah, super down to earth. But when he was in Green Bay, he just wanted to experience everything, and that's how he ended up, cooking with me. He's just like, no, seriously, I want to come over. I'm like, okay. But no, he's been doing a lot for. He has a sister with epilepsy, so he has an epilepsy foundation, and he's been really working hard. So
that's awesome.
Putting the work in. So yeah, I can't talk shit yet. So I'm gonna watch the Bucks, and we'll hope that goes well.
No.
You need to come down and we can go crash old Lane Taylor's house.
Yes.
He lives his actual home is super close to me.
Yep.
When he's not in Houston. So
is that where he parks the beast?
Yeah.
Because he owes me a ride in that puppy, let me tell you. That's it.
That and that's where he has his custom stick burners there too.
Oh yeah. Yep. Nice.
We actually played him in the playoffs in high school.
Oh, really?
So getting on Big Green, Team Green, and whatnot. Getting to be buddies with him has been. You won't find a better guy. He's one of the most down to earth guys you'll ever meet.
He is. He's a great dude, and it's fun because him. Brett Hundley, when he was here, I would talk to him every now and then. He just wanted to experience things. We're Lane, I'll talk to him once a week about. We don't even talk about football. I'll talk to him once a week, and we're just talking about cooking and what we think about trying this out or all this other stuff. I mean, he legitimately can cook, but wants to be a really good cook. So it's fun.
Yep. Yeah, he's a sweetheart.
All right, gentlemen. Travis, I will send you a message. 6:05.
Hey.
We'll plan on doing a 30-minute ride.
Right on.
All right, guys. TJ,
all right,
thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Thank you so much.
Mel, we'll see you next week.
All right, bye-bye, guys.
Oh. That was good.